everybody. Welcome back to Writing Spells. In part one of this class, we talked about our intentions and our whys behind our intentions. And today I wanted to expand on a couple of different elements that are not often utilized or they're overlooked in writing spells. And I wanted to explain my point behind adding them. So today we're going to discuss how your magic is going to work, or directing your magic. And then we're going to discuss the timeline behind your magic. So I went ahead and posted a couple of PDFs the other day to the units section, and one is labeled how do I want this spell to work, and how long do I want my spell to take to manifest, or how long do I want my spell to last. Now, before we go ahead and jump into what you're seeing on the board right now, I wanted to explain why these 2 points are important in creating magic, and especially when you're creating your spells. So, if you decide that you want to manifest something and you don't direct how that should be manifest, you're leaving yourself open to the universe just giving you what the universe thinks that you want. So by directing your magic, you can be specific on what it is that you're asking the universe for. So say you want a car. Okay, well, the universe can get you a car, but what if you end up with a clunker? That's not exactly what you were asking for. What if that clunker doesn't even get you to work? You asked for a car, but you didn't specify what kind of car you wanted. So it's important to think about that when you are writing your spells. The second part to today is the timeline behind your spells. Now, this is not necessarily an aspect where you're like, oh, well, it's got to be done this way or that way. What I'm talking about when it comes to the timeline is essentially the same thing that you would do if you created yourself a goal. So say that you wanted a house. Okay? All right, cool. You can tell the universe, hey, I want a house. That's what I want. Okay? Well, what if it takes 20 years for the universe to give you a house? Do you want to wait 20 years for a house? How long do you want to wait for a house? Okay? So, when you're writing your spell, you want to put a limit on that. Okay? Universe, I want a house with blue trim that has a pretty fence and blah 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 that I can manifest and have in my possession in 5 years' time. Okay, well, there you go. That's a little bit more clear. I mean, you could get more clear and more direct about it in writing this out, but just as a overall example. Another aspect to what your timeline is applies to the magic you send out. Okay, so say you want to send something to somebody, or you want to do something to somebody in your magic. Okay? Well, how long should that last? Is that indefinite? Is that a week? Is that a month? Is that 2 days? What is it? So you need to specify how long your magic is, the magical effect that you have is going to last within the spell that you're creating. So based on those 2 things, I'm going to walk you through a spell that I created for the chakra class. So in Unit 2, not Unit 1, but Unit 2, in the section of the units for the Green Witch's Corner, I created a class on chakras. Okay, and the main goal for this chakra class was to teach people how to use candle magic to identify whether or not their chakra pools were blocked or unblocked. Okay, it's a basic tool to help you expand on specific energy pools. It'll help you identify which one's blocked and which one's not, leaving you able to focus your intentions on your blocked pools. So, this board right here that you see is I'm going to go over the part 1 that we did the other day and then expand on it for part 2 before we get into part 3 where we start to actually write our spells. Okay. So the example is I wanted to link a candle to an energy pool. That was my intent. I elaborated it, and I said I want to see what my energy pools look like. Well, that's my intention. I wanted to see, I needed a physical representation of what my pool looked like so that I can determine if I needed to work on it. Now, of course, if you're like an excellent meditator and you're able to to manage these things. You can kind of figure that out on your own through sensations and stuff in your body. But I really wanted to see and validate what I was experiencing in my meditations in a physical world using candle magic. So this is why I created this spell. And then I go directly into why. So after I created the intention or wrote down my intentions, I elaborated with the whys, the questions that I asked you guys the other day. Well, I wanted to do this because I'd like to see if I'm blocked. I didn't feel balanced. It will help me focus my effort on that pool. And I'm sure there's like a whole bunch more reasons that I put, but I'm just going to shorten this just to help you understand how I utilized part 1 of the spell writing class. So now, what I need you to do is, if you've already started writing out your intentions and your whys behind them, go ahead and grab those papers, okay? You're going to need them for today. So, before we get into the expansion on part 1 for today's class, I'm going to go over the PDFs that I put into the unit section the other day. The first one is, how do I want this spell to work? Okay? Under it, it says, take a moment to grab up your papers from the prior lesson, which is what I just asked you to do, to help you further the development of your spell. On this sheet, take a moment to think about what your intentions are and why, but you have that readily available on your paper that you did the other day. Okay, so having them means you don't have to, rethink. You just, oh, well, there they are. So, and then we're going to expand on those into directing how the spell will unfold or work the way in which you intend. So, I asked you a couple of questions on this PDF. So take some time and think about the questions and then answer them. Okay? What do I want the spell to do? Okay, well, obviously there's different parts and aspects to a spell. So how do you want it to work? So let's think about that. Do you want the universe to show you anything? So like in the intent where I wanted to link a candle to my energy pool and I wanted to see if I was blocked, I want the universe to show me something. Okay, well, what is it that I want the universe to show me? Well, to be specific about what it is you're looking for. Okay? Are you connecting or linking to something? In this particular case, I absolutely was. If so, what and does this apply to how my spell will work for me? We'll take a minute to think about that. Is that, kind of figure out those different aspects and write it out. The next question I asked you is, what are the results I hope to attain? Okay, well, that's in directing your magic. What parts of the spell, what part of your spell, and what is the results that you're hoping for? So, like, that's a really important aspect. You tell the universe what you want to see or what you want to do. What directions do you want the universe to know? Okay, well, there's going to be extenuating directions. So this is all about being specific as you possibly can in writing your spell. Are there any various steps that need to be in order? If so, what are they? Okay, so if you have a specific order that you want things to work out in, then you need to say that. So write it in. Okay, first this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Then this is going to happen. And then this is going to happen. Well, that's how you kind of want to write that out. Do I want the universe to send a message that my spell has been received? If so, define the various ways that might be. Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. Obviously, you want to send out something, and we all want to know if what we send out works. So the universe, you can ask the universe for a sign, that happens. And then it depends on how you interpret what's given to you. Will depend on if you're able to connect the dots between your spell and the sign that you're given by the universe. The next thing I asked you is there anything else you wish to add? So maybe as you've gone through part 1, you start getting into this part of the assignments, you're like, wait, I totally forgot something. Okay, well, good. Well, then there's room for that. Write out anything else that you need that you're thinking about right there in that slot. Then, how do you feel about how I want the spell to work? Okay, well, you've gone through and you've written it out, all these, and answered all these different questions. Well, how do you feel about it? Is there something off? Is there something missing? Is there something? And then go back and then kind of go, okay, well, no, this needs to be this way, or nope, this needs to be this way. These are all aspects that help you define what it is you're trying to achieve and how you're trying to achieve it. So that's the first PDF for this. So now I'm going to take you back to my intention and pull you from part 1 and go into part 2. Okay, so obviously I wanted to see what my pools look like. I needed to know if I was balanced and wanted to help focus. So I needed a physical representation of what my pools, my energy pools, my chakras looked like, so that I can focus my work on the particular chakra that needed addressing. So how did I come about doing this? Now I've shortened some of these. I have much longer lists and whatnot and some more specifics, but I kind of wanted to keep this kind of short and sweet to you. So under part 2, how will my magic work? Okay, so I told the universe that the candles will represent my energy pools. Okay, so I have 7 energy pools, and I had 7 candles, and each candle is a different color according to the energy pool. So, okay. This is also where, that order thing comes in. I hadn't put that in here, but I did in my actual writing, but just to make it a little easier. The candle will burn completely out to show me that my pool is unblocked. So that means that I can use a little chime candle, whatever. And then during my meditation, I want the universe to burn that candle completely out if I don't have to worry about that chakra and it's unlocked. Okay? Then I wanted the universe to have the candle not fully burn out to show me that the energy pool is blocked. Okay, so if I have that chime candle and only burns about halfway down, that's going to tell me that my chakra is blocked and that I should work on it. So I wanted to tell the universe that that's what I'm expecting to see. Okay? And then the candle will link to the pool I focus on. So I pick up the red candle. The red represents the root chakra, so I decide that I'm going to focus the candle on the root chakra, and that's letting the universe know that that candle is going to link to the one that I focus on. Okay? Now, of course, I can get more elaborate on this and add more parts to this and let the universe know, hey, this is going to happen. I can get really, 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 really specific on how I expect the candles to work. Okay? This is defining how I want my intentions to work in the spell. So, after we've got that all set up, I'm going to go ahead and move into the next section, the next PDF that I put up on the group. How long do I want my spell to take to manifest, or how long do I want my spell to last? That's super, super, super important. Okay, so now that you have your intentions and they're defined and your why is established and you've figured out the details behind how you want the spell to work for you, now we must figure out how long your spell will either last or take to manifest. Often overlooked or seen as demanding, this is a really good aspect of spell writing to get in the habit of applying. Answer the following questions as they apply to your intentions. The first question is this: do I need my magic to manifest quickly? If so, how long should that be? That's a pretty straightforward question. Am I influencing any goals? If so, how long do I want to wait to get them? Now, we can go back to the house, that getting a house example, and think about that. We can tell the universe we want a house, and we can get a house in 10, 20 years. But if we didn't specify how long our goal was or what the end point was for our goal, then we're up to the mercy of what the universe decides. Are my intentions towards another? If so, how long do I want the spell effects to last? Well, that's super important. Now, if you're doing a binding, is it indefinite? Is it temporary? How long is it? And think about those aspects when you're working on magic. The next question I am asking is, am I manifesting something for myself? If so, how long do I want the results to last? Now, instead of asking yourself how long you want to wait to get it, which we already covered, this is how long do you want the results to last? So say you are manifesting money. Okay, well, how long do you want to keep manifesting money? What if you're manifesting happiness? What if you're manifesting some information? Okay, well, how long do you want those intentions and the spell to last? How long is it going to last for you, and how long do you want those results to stick around? So we're going to go back to my example here. We'll move into this part, okay, which is the second part of part 2. What is my timeline? So going back to the energy views that I want from the candle in my candle magic spell, I want the timeline to look like this. The candle will link during my visualization. Okay, cool. So if I'm holding the candle, say back to the root candle, I'm holding the root candle and I'm visualizing the link between my root and the candle and creating that link. I want the universe to know that I want that to happen while I'm actually visualizing. Not after I'm done visualizing, but during the visualization. Okay, obviously I can get this a little bit more in detail and more specific. I want the red candle to link to my root chakra within the time point for it during my visualization. I can get super specific if I want. The next one is the candle will begin showing the results as I meditate. Okay, so after I've linked the candles, I'm going to set them all up like I did in the exercise. Okay, and then I'm going to begin my meditation. I'll use either a guided meditation. At my level of meditations, I really worry about guided meditations, but for new people, a guided meditation is super, super helpful. It helps you focus and stay on task. So I want the candle to begin showing the results as I meditate, not after I meditate, but as I meditate. Okay? Each candle will display the true result by the end of the meditation. Okay, so that means by the time I'm done with my meditation, by the time I'm totally done seeing all through all of my chakras, I am expecting the universe to provide me the results right there, done, right there, okay, at the end of the meditation. Not next week, but right after I'm done with the meditation. Okay, then I'm going to say the link between my energy pool and the candle will disconnect after I complete the meditation. Obviously, I don't want to keep myself linked to a candle. Okay, I want to lock up and close up my chakras after I'm done. So I want to let the universe know that that is how I'm going to do that. So, as you think about your intentions and your whys and start to expand on how your magic will work and set yourself a timeline, you'll begin to kind of get a sense of being specific when it comes to writing your spells. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and start working and getting the other video up and ready so that we can begin writing out our actual spell. And we're going to do that using all of the papers that you guys have in the unit section. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day and that you all are blessed. And I will see you all in the next video.